Let me just begin by saying that I want to associate myself with the comments that Senator Wyden made earlier about the strong bipartisan support there is for maintaining the increased U.S. de minimis threshold, which I think is something that he and I got signed into law. I think it's really important, and I hope that in this agreement that we can maintain those levels, because I think it's important to our ability to trade effectively with other countries and make it easier for our small businesses to compete. Just very quickly, let me ask, this agreement, I think, is the most worker-friendly trade agreement the United States has ever considered, and it's a big improvement, in my view, on the North American Free Trade Agreement, the agreement under which we're currently operating, on the issues over which a number of my friends across the aisle have expressed concern. So I would just like a yes or no answer from all of you on the panel. Given the choice between USMCA and NAFTA, which would you choose?
Yes.
So USMCA.
USMCA.
Okay,
yeah.
great, thank you.
USMCA is a significant improvement.
Okay.
Yeah, the modernization of the rules and the transparency around the regulatory process for agriculture, we would choose USMCA.
Yeah.
USMCA.
There are 2.2 billion reasons for saying USMCA, Senator.
USMCA when fixed.
Okay, all right, thanks, Mr. Wilson. So let me just then say, because my own view is that this is something we can get done and get done quickly, and I think it's an improvement. If you look at the whole gamut, from manufacturing to digital services to automotive and for sure to agriculture, which I care deeply about. But the ITC study said that it would create 176,000 new U.S. jobs, grow our economy, and raise wages for workers. And so given the breadth of the progress that we've made, I think it's time to pass this agreement and to start to realize some of those economic benefits. In any of your opinion, is there any reason why we wouldn't act now? And could somebody maybe just explain what the cost of not acting would be?
So, yeah, so I'll start. I mean, obviously, our opinion is that we should act now. I think the cost of not acting is the uncertainty that we've talked about several times today. You know, in corporate America, we go through processes not dissimilar from the federal government to figure out and allocate capital expenditures. And in our company's case, that number is at or around $300 million a year, some years a little more or a little less. Not knowing with great certainty that USMCA will be ratified makes it difficult to make decisions. We've invested heavily on the southern border, and our operation in Laredo is now 100 acres and the largest such operation of its kind on the southern border. We would like to see that certainty. We believe it's a huge step forward. I personally believe on labor in particular it's a step forward, and the time to act is now.
My view is that we can't afford the current situation. We can't afford to see jobs like the bakery workers in Chicago and Philadelphia who are making Oreos, and those jobs have now gone to Mexico, where workers are making 97 cents an hour. And as last time I checked, the Oreo package is not being sold any cheaper here in the U.S. USMCA, with its variety of provisions, labor laws that are going to be effectively implemented and enforced, can help change that, and we're working for that.
Okay. Well, go ahead.
I would just add, maybe if we put ourselves in the role of our customers here, as a farmer, they typically make decisions about what they plant 12 months ahead. They start to order their inputs, they order seed, they make their farm management plan. And so having that certainty of where that demand is going to come from, that global market, really helps in that decision making. So growers are going to come through a tough year here in 2019, and they're trying to make the best decisions they can for 2020. And so having certainty about what that market looks like in the future would be very beneficial.
Thank you. And I couldn't agree more. Farmers and ranchers in my state, they are facing a ton of uncertainty about trade. And with all these ongoing trade negotiations, and they're being unsure about what the rules of the road are going to look like in the future, is very problematic. And the one thing that we have in front of us that we can get done now, which starts to change that trajectory and bend it in the right direction, is this agreement. So we don't need to wait on this anymore. We need to get it done. I know that the folks in Kansas, the chairman represents, and mine desperately need this. So I hope we can get it done. And I thank you, Mr. Chairman. I thank my colleague from Ohio for his courtesy. Let me go first. Thank you.